What's up, Flaniverse? Just going live. We're going to rip 2 drafts. We're going pretty quickly today. My goal is to get in and out in under 2 hours. I want to be done by 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern, get 2 drafts done. Largely doing a stream today because I'm realizing I am far behind in my quest to become the oldest man to ever stream all 150 Best Ball Mania drafts. I'm jumping in right now if you want to get in with me. And I only 3 filled, so you have plenty of time to get in if you want to. A lot of training camp news today. Pretty interesting. Off the top of my head, Buffalo, pretty bullish for Dalton Kincaid, I think. A little bit bearish for me. The news on Keon Coleman just continues to be not great. Like just the way they're talking about Keon Coleman being a rookie who needs to develop. I've been pretty low on Coleman anyway, so maybe I'm just confirming my priors a little bit. But I have not drafted a ton of Dalton Kincaid. That is kind of a priority for me, trying to get a little bit more Kincaid. I've been drafting Trey McBride over Kincaid pretty consistently when I don't have Josh Allen. I've said before, like, part of the reason that I'm high on Trey McBride and I end up drafting Trey McBride over Mark Andrews a lot of the time is not really a player take thing so much as it is a give myself options thing. So part of the reason I don't draft a lot of Kincaid is if I don't already have Josh Allen, I see Trey McBride there. I'm like, well, if I take Trey McBride, that gives me another quarterback I can take later. I'll take Andrews over McBride if Lamar Jackson is there and I can get him. So it's kind of I kind of break ties in favor of whoever has a quarterback still available to me if I don't already have the quarterback. So then I end up not taking a lot of Dalton Kincaid, and that's something that I kind of want to fix. You may remember if you watch the stream on Monday with Andrew with Draft 32 Teams, I think is his Twitter account. He was really high on Ray Davis, and part of the reasoning for him was that Ray Davis is actually very good in the passing game, which is not anything that I had. Like my preconceived notion of Ray Davis was more of a like goal line back, just like, I don't know, not a big running game guy, not a third down guy, just a like score touchdowns. He's going to be the goal line back kind of a guy. So makes me a little bit more bullish on him, thinking that he could be a little bit more involved in the passing game than I thought he would be. And the reports from camp today were that he looked great in the passing game. So but Buffalo, one of those spots that I think I need to target a little bit more heavily. I think Ray Davis is going to become one of my go-tos in kind of that, what would that be, the 12th, 13th round kind of range, maybe even 14th, I guess is where he's going. He's like 166 ADP, something like that, I want to say. Mac Hollins, a guy that I have been kind of mixing in a little bit in the 18th round. I think he's an interesting play for the end of your draft. He continues to be playing with the starters. Like he seems to be potentially a starting receiver for the Bills. Like he might end up having a better year than Keon Coleman. Would not be that shocking to me. All right, what do I want to do here? I got to think about this. I'm going to go McCaffrey. Do we have any concerns about CeeDee Lamb, like legit holding out? I don't think I do, but I maybe don't have the best read on the situation. Does anybody have a better read on the CeeDee Lamb situation than myself? Because I don't know what to do with it. Disbanded Brotherhood, dot back at you. Coleman looking like more like a year 2 play. Yeah, that's kind of how I see it too. Like it just sounds like he has kind of some rookie warts, which again could be absolutely nothing. Like you may remember Jamar Chase, the rumors around this time where he's not seeing the ball, he can't catch an NFL football, and then he turned into Jamar Chase. So it could be absolutely nothing, but I think in this case, it's like Jamar Chase came in with like major pedigree. We thought he was going to be awesome, and then it was like kind of surprised that he wasn't looking good in training camp. Whereas Keon Coleman, I think, was always going to be kind of a prospect who's going to take a little bit raw prospect, going to take a little bit more time to develop. So I think it's a more legitimate concern with Keon Coleman for this year than it was with Jamar Chase. What up, Green Checkmark? Good to see you here. B-Spurf, pleasure as always. Shoot, I missed my chance to take Kincaid at the 101. D. Lutomsky going to take him from me. Are you in this draft? I haven't looked at who's in the draft yet. Best ball and call. Good to see you. Who do we got in here? Fiddle My Gooch is a name that I know, but I can't think who it is. Charles, Go AZ Cards in here. Good to see you. D. Lutomsky. We got Beastburf in here. Good crew here. This is a good draft room. The downside of streaming your drafts is that you're always drafting with good players. I've been doing a lot of those fast puppies on my own time, and you get a lot of rooms that just have like, 3 badges in them, and people draft kind of crazy in those. So this is a little bit different, drafting with the people who I am talking with on stream, who are typically going to be more serious drafters, people who are watching draft streams. Going to be a sharper crowd in general. What's up, Charles? Good to see you here. Yeah, Fiddle My Gooch is a great name. I feel like I know who that is. Maybe just because it's such a memorable name is why I think that. Maybe I don't actually know them. What's going on? 2 in the thoughts, 1 in the okay. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's kind of funny. Oh, he is around a lot. Okay. Like in chats, or is he just like in drafts with us? If you've watched many of my streams, you know that I have struggled in a major way to get Josh Allen with Dalton Kincaid. Like that stack has just been like, feels like a bit like somehow the entire world knows that I really want to land Josh Allen, Dalton Kincaid, and in every single time I take Josh Allen, Dalton Kincaid ends up going ahead of all the other elite tight ends, just like one pick before me, or just people reach for him. I just cannot get that the stack for the life of me. Josh Allen with Dalton Kincaid. I did finally manage to get it today with Dalton Kincaid falling to me past ADP. It felt so good. It felt so good because I had just been reading, bullish reports. Dalton Kincaid, one of the reports I read was Dalton Kincaid is like pretty clearly the number 1 target for Josh Allen was the report. Of course, I'm telling you all this, and now there's no way I'm going to get him. But that was like I read this super bullish report. I'm thinking, man, I really need to get more Dalton Kincaid, and then of course that is the time that I finally get him. So that felt good. Debro, you want to jump on? Happy to have guests. I just borrow some like corporate speak, trying to stay agile. I did not plan anything like this week. I did not plan a ton. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stream today, and then finally I was like, you know what? I feel like streaming. I feel like I'm enjoying all of the news coming out. I want to get on a stream, react to the news a little bit. So I didn't invite anybody on, but Debro, if you want to come on, I'd love to have you get some equity in this draft. All right, I go McCaffrey 101. Anything weird going on here? Jefferson over Chase, that's not that weird. Yeah, pretty standard. Debo at 15, a little early for Beastburf, doing a little unique thing there. But nothing that weird here. Olave falls to 21. It's kind of nice. All right. Malik Neighbors, reports on Malik Neighbors pretty good. Sounds like in practice, the Giants are throwing everything short. Like they're not like throwing bombs. It's all shorter stuff, which I don't know if that's something to be concerned about, but I think I'm into it. I think I'm going to do it. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to go Malik Neighbors. And here I'm going to try to do it while talking with all the people I'm drafting with. This is really smart of me, but I'm going to try and do it anyway. I'm going to try and take Josh Allen. I also think that Josh Allen is just a good pick, not going to be paired with CMC all that often. So I think that like combinatorially getting the Buffalo stack with CMC is just based on where Josh Allen is going. ADP of 37.7. Not many. He's not. I don't think I've ever seen him fall to pick 48. So like he's not going with CMC there. Maybe like there are times where CMC goes the 103, and then people take Josh Allen falls to the pick 46, something like that. That's maybe happens. But I think it's going to be a pretty rare combo. So just to mix things up a little bit, I like getting Josh Allen there. All right, let's see. Kincaid at the 3-4 turn. I've been thinking I might start trying to do that a little bit more. Do Josh Allen in the 3rd, Kincaid in the 4th. Like just take him a little bit earlier. Stop with trying to let him fall to me. I don't hate that idea. Achane CMC start as optimal, you think? I don't think I had the opportunity to draft that one in this draft. Achane, yeah, you went 23. I have done that draft. I haven't done it a ton, but I have done the CMC Achane start. Yeah, I think we're all sort of, sounds like you're all thinking the same as me. Like at that 3-4 turn, it's 2 detours from the wide receiver avalanche if you go Allen Kincaid. But I think I've done so many like 0 RB, hero RB teams. I think it's a little bit fun. All right. That's cool, D bro. All right. Saquon at 26, Kyron 27. Henry falls to 32. What's up, Tyler? You feel like streaming? Tyler's always a reliable, good guest to have on. If you feel like jumping in and getting some equity, Tyler, the offer is good for you as well. Charles, absolutely, you should not. You should not take Kincaid in the 4th. Who looks good is Trey McBride. Looks really good. I don't need a guest, but I would love to have you on if you're free. If you want to jump on, talk some ball. I'll throw you a link, and you can decide if you want to jump on. Oh yeah. I would be, as I was saying, I didn't plan this really ahead of time all that much, so I did not like invite anybody on ahead of time. But I would be happy to have you on, Tyler. So let me see. I'll send you a DM. All right, check your Twitter DMs, Tyler, if you're free. All right, where are we at? Beast Perf goes Sam Laporta. Got the Debo Laporta week 17 stack. Big B Travis Kelce. See, I've had this happen where, like, not this. I've had the thing happen where nobody's taking tight ends, and I'm like, okay, I'm safe because all of the tight ends who have earlier ADPs than Kincaid are still there, and still, like, that's whenever I have Josh Allen, people end up taking him. So it's been a brutal run for me, but got my share today of the stack. Are you guys? You're all taking, everybody in chat taking tight ends. Are you just doing this to make me nervous? I see the blue and I think, oh no, they took my guy. We are 1 pick away. Is Fiddle My Gooch going to fiddle my gooch? That's what I have to ask myself here. Just letting the timer run down. What a guy. What a guy. Made me sweat. All right. Could go Kirk. I'm definitely going Kincaid. I could go Kirk. He does have the week 12 bye. So if I want to throw on another Buffalo receiver, I'm going to run into bye week issues potentially. I think I'm still willing to do it. Tyler's here. Tyler, are you ready? All right, come help me make this pick. All right, so I got the Kincaid stack with Allen. We are at pick 49. Christian Kirk is the most obvious to me. He's fallen a little bit. I've done multiple detours, only have one receiver, so I think Kirk is probably the answer. I also like Chris Godwin quite a bit. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm probably Kirk or I'm Rasheed Rice or Worthy. Uh, Probably Rice. Worthy might fall with the hamstring stuff. That's what I would lean as well.
All right, let's
I
go
know
with
you're an ADP guy, but I like any of the guys. Kirk as a faller is fine. Just thinking like combo wise, I don't think either of the Chiefs guys are coming back. And if you value them, um, you know, like if Rice misses 2-0 games, you probably end up taking him more over Kirk, like ADP wise, I would think. And that's just the theory, since seems all the news is he might not get suspended this year, with the criminal case still not being set and
yeah.
the civil case being in January.
Yeah, that's a good call. He does have the potential to potentially flip Christian Kirk over time. Man, I do not like that you called me an ADP bro. It's fair. I think it's a fair assessment, but I don't love it. I don't love it anyway.
I am too, in a way. And so the question there is like, I've just seen. I think it's just boredom in the last week or so. Kirk has been falling plenty. So, combo wise, I think plenty of teams have CMC with one of, if not both of, Rice or Worthy. But just like, um, you're probably seeing CMC teams a lot more often with Hollywood. So, just thinking like combo wise,
True.
Rice over Hollywood with whoever comes there. But yeah, for sure receiver. So you can split hairs.
Yeah. I think so. I did reach for Josh Allen at pick 25, and his ADP is like 38. I
And
think
you
it's
might not want to
a unique
stack.
combo.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. And well, that was the other thing about Rice there potentially. I think Allen Kurt somewhat unique, um, but I think Rice or Worthy with Allen is very common on the other side of the board, not with
Right.
CMC.
Yep.
So, but you're having a lot of fun and uniqueness here, whatever. So, yeah, it's all good. It's all fun. This is definitely interesting. If you're trying to set that stack up, I dig it.
Do you think I should have considered? I did sort of consider James Cook there as well, but it felt a little bit like only having one receiver through 5 rounds is a little bit too
No,
off the board.
especially with Cook falling, and Cook might fall more with all this Ray Davis hype. So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't I don't think you want to double down on, like QBs are falling. You took one early. Cook is falling. Taking him early when you're detouring, you're reaching, and two fallers. That seems like
Right.
a bad mix.
Yeah. I think that's a good call. This is a good question. Here, first I'll respond to a couple. Uh, Cup third and McBride fourth been my go-to. Says go easy cards. Yeah, that feels pretty good. What's up, Ashton? I wanted to go over this question. What camp news are you jumping rounds for? And it's funny because I read so much camp news this morning, and now I'm like, I figured like, oh, it's gonna come back to me like as we draft. So let me think about let me think about what did I read this morning.
Nothing so far should be the answer. Like
Yeah,
it's way
this.
too early.
Oh, you think it's too early to react to camp news at all? I'm not sure.
Okay. He said multiple rounds.
Oh,
So
multiple rounds.
to
Okay.
my in my head, the only thing you should be multiple rounds reacting, if you're so inclined to news the first week of camp, is like rounds 16, 17, 18, where you're reaching to get the guy you feel really good about that you weren't like, let's say, Estime, right? Like a guy like Estime, you want to reach 3 rounds for him. Okay, anything after 14, round 14 plus, ADP doesn't matter, sure. But
Yeah.
like I'm thinking mid to early rounds, nothing is making me
No.
go,
Yeah.
oh my god, because that's just making the Calvin Ridley mistake all over again. You know,
Yeah. That's a good call. Speaking that is a piece of news that I like multiple people reporting on. Javonte Williams looking really good today. That he like cut weight. He looks great. I know that you're not a big Javonte guy so far, but I kind of think that it is pretty bullish for Javonte. I mean,
yeah,
we've been saying it's whoever gets that backfield is going to be just super valuable. And I've been recently just drafting a ton of Audric Esme. I've moved him up to like the 16th round, but this does make me think like, yeah, I got to continue mixing in some Javante because it sounds like he's looking really good. He's lighter. Sean Payton asked him to cut weight back to like his college days. He was a little bit lighter, so he cut his weight. Sounds like he looks a little bit more dynamic right now. So I think it's
yeah,
pretty bullish for Javante. So he's a guy that I think I'm like I don't
yeah,
know that I'm moving him up necessarily because I don't really need to right now, but he is
yeah.
for
He's
a little
still
while I
kind of
was kind of fading him,
falling.
and now I'm like, okay, I'm willing to take him around pick, 105 again.
Yeah, he's still falling a bit. I'm mixing him in because everything that I'm listening to is telling me I should consider taking him. I'll address it more. I think Brian Thomas is a smash here, obviously.
Yep.
Uh, and then I think you have to go receiver here. So it's one of JSN or Ladd, and you know who I prefer between those two guys.
I do. I do know who you prefer. All right, we can do Lad. You think Brian Thomas over? Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah. Stack and profile. Um, yeah. It's pretty easy for me.
I was considering for a second Evan Ingram, but he's the same bye week as Dalton Kincaid, and we took an elite tight end already, so I think it's
Yeah,
pretty easy.
I got plus other thing with like if I'm reaching for a guy like that, or not reaching, if I'm settling for like a second tight end that early, it's a guy that doesn't fall very often. That's there at that
Yeah, you
spot,
can get
right?
Ingram
A
all the time there.
Emmett Bro- Ingram falls back around to the other side of the board, or all the way back around. I'm not like his profile is. Do I not have a guy, and do I not want to get a running back here yet, or does he stack? It's definitely not a priority, especially if I took a guy. Quickly on Javonte, yeah, like I'm not in love with it, but from a macro standpoint, at cost, he's a fine, good target, especially if this offense is going to be not dog shit. If he's going to get a lot of goal line and pass down work, the concern was just is he gonna get his lunch eaten into on both ends from the early down and goal line standpoint and the passing down stuff? That said, all signs have been pointing to P. Ryan being a likely cut guy, McLaughlin being a very like limited touch Sproles type, and Javonte having Peyton say I expect him to be more back to himself year two off the ACL. That's typically a like historically speaking for a guy in his age range with his RAS, we should expect him to be closer to the more efficient version of himself last year. We should not, though, expect him to be all the way back to his normal self. Like there's like an in between there from a health standpoint. But if a guy's going to hit year two off the ACL in a better way, it's typically through more volume, especially through the pass game. We should count on that in this backfield. Gretsch made a pretty good bull case for just like there just would be a lot of touches and he could see 60 to 70% of that. And at
Yeah,
cost, that's very good. And I would say that like the real only risk now is that he gets Kyron Cam Akers. But seemingly Peyton's saying much more positive stuff about him than McVay was saying about Cam Akers for Kyron year one and year two. So yeah, I think mixing him in right now makes a lot of sense, especially and part of my like heartburn with him was when he was like in the 90s to 100s. Now that he's falling past guys like Singletary, past like
yeah,
Gus, oh yeah, I'm smashing him because it's a much better bet for that. But like people that were, you know, just running to go take him ahead of like maybe like Raheem Mostert or any of that shit. And if he spikes, like I'm gonna have to have this conversation with myself all over again. But no, at cost, definitely be mixing him in. He seems like a good bet, especially if the early signs continue to be positive.
yep. Yeah, no, I'm back in. I think I'm still a little bit more bullish than you are. Like I would consider him, depending on the build, I would consider him ahead of Singletary and Gus. Like I think
For
they're
sure.
all kind of the same tier. So
Yeah.
okay, so you're on the same page.
Yeah. And
Um,
the thing for Singletary is like the offense is probably like median. Don't project too differently. Like rookie quarterback 5 versus Danny Dimes. Like the O line for Denver's better, but I mean, Bo Nix could just be dog shit. We don't know, right? Like he
yeah,
he wasn't graded as a first round quarterback. That said, the system is probably like very like point shoot click fast pace good O line run the ball blah blah blah. So like median, they're probably not too different. I think Javante probably higher ceiling if the offense is closer to average, which I think we all feel more comfy about than Dimes on an ACL with a line. You want to talk about camp news? The New York line still seems very bad.
yeah,
They've already changed their plans at right tackle week one of camp from OTA, so that seems
it's not
bullish.
great. Yeah,
Um, but I think Singletary has less nipping at his heels. Like it, all signs don't really point to a clear RB2. Tracy's like maybe eating his lunch for like projected touches. I think Singletary maybe projects for more, but he's his talent's obviously not as good. So yeah, they're probably very similar bets, and it just comes down to like who do you feel better about full long season touches and whatnot, and that really just comes down to like Estime versus Tracy being stronger RB2s.
Yeah. All right, we are up again. We're at a 1-1-4-1 build. We have the top quarterback, the top running back. That feels good. Right in the realm for top tight end as well. I don't know. So by rank and by ADP, it would be DeAndre Swift here. Could do that. I know you're not a Palmer guy, but we could have the double stack if we want to.
I think I'm double tapping receiver here. Personally, I'm not super into
I really like
DeAndre
Rashid.
Swift.
I really like Rashid Shaheed too.
So I will say, Palmer stacks like whatever. No heartburn there. No consideration for Sutton potentially setting up like a quarterback in an offensive stack, considering who we've just talked about, or even Lockett. So I mean, fine with any of them. I think I'd probably take Sutton over Rashid though.
I'm good with that. Yeah, I don't feel strongly about that 1v1, so I'll go.
Well, so the case here is like Rashid bull case is very efficient, much better boost in offense, wide receiver 2, and Sutton, like in a very base like fantasy way, I'd rather chase a wide receiver 1 on a meh team than a wide receiver 2 on a meh team, even though like Shaheed's much more like fancy, shiny new toy, but Sutton could easily be the best receiver being fed the most of his team, considering Mims' year 2 profile is pretty shit. And Franklin is a round 4 rookie, and Josh Reynolds is their big free agent get. Would it surprise anybody if he just gets similar types of volume and including in the red zone?
Yeah, right. He's probably that guy again, assuming he's still in Denver. Who knows if he gets traded at some point this year? But yeah, he's probably going to be there.
I mean,
they're 1A once again.
Common sense, like they didn't trade him last year or Judy last year when they could have gotten more. They only traded Judy in the offseason when they knew they could replace him with Josh Reynolds, Troy Franklin, and potentially Marvin Mims taking a step forward in the offense. So like they didn't exactly like say we're good with how it's been. They're obviously not budging right now with his contract, but all signs point to like him being the guy that could be best utilized as Michael Thomas in this offense.
Yep.
And they just got their Drew Brees, and it doesn't make sense to trade away the like cromulent vet receiver in a very thin wide receiver room with a rookie quarterback you just like put your stamp of approval on in the first round.
Right.
Much like the Brandon Ayuk thing, it doesn't stack up to deal him right now. If he gets dealt, it's mid-season because Franklin is Amon-Ra, like way outweighs, his draft capital. Mims isn't, a fluky kick returner, deep threat guy, and Reynolds is, a very fine wide receiver 3. Like, and that's a lot of ifs. And it makes more sense to ride Sutton out this year and then go from there than give him what he wants or trade him for what they're going to get a 4th, 3rd round pick, maybe.
Right.
If they wanted that, they would have already traded him.
All right, I'm going to try and quickly remember some of the quick hits of things that were blurbs that I read today coming out of camp. Before we get too far into the draft and forget to, and I'll do another draft after this. Tyler, when do you think you're going to have your work thing meeting?
Oh, it's totally random. I have been waiting for about an hour and a half, so I'm here until I got to bounce. But
all right,
I might be here the entire time.
Cool. Yeah. All right, so we might be able to talk through these guys again for the next.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Well, I'll just quick hit. Deontay Johnson sounds like has a great connection with Bryce Young. Sounds like they are working together pretty closely in practice and connecting in practice. So that's promising. I've been a little bit nervous about the Bryce Young thing, just whether he can like the biggest question now is, can Bryce Young support a number 1 receiver? We saw it in spurts last year with Adam Thielen, but I think it's pretty clearly going to be Deontay. If it is anybody, I feel like there was somebody else down here that there were blurbs on today that I wanted to react to.
The
Coleman didn't look great.
Generic Prince is the talk of the town.
I was gonna wait and then get to chat after we get through.
Then you get to wait, chat. We're gonna save the Prince that was promised for last.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there in just a minute.
It was Worthy hamstring, QJ getting strong, JMO looking better,
strong,
but vomiting everywhere.
Yeah, right. Vomiting but continuing to practice.
Chase
like
Brown getting
Cam.
some really bullish
Yeah, Chase Brown. That's a good
news.
note.
Yeah.
I feel like there was one other that I forgot, but maybe we'll get back to it. All right, we're coming up on our pick, and then we will
Yeah, I've
talk to
got
chat in a
plenty I
minute.
can list out. So it seems like a great time to hit the running back glory hole, patent pending.
Patent pending. That's a Tom one. Tom has a patent on that one.
It's true.
From what I've heard.
Well, it's a channel. It's a channel. So
Okay,
that
that's
means
fair.
my equity is secure.
Yeah, true. I will say there are a couple of we could consider throwing Khalil Shakir onto our stack.
I would strongly consider smashing Chase Brown and
I like that. All right, so Chase Brown, and then we could just throw in another running back. We also we have the double stack of the Chargers. We could consider going Herbert.
So maybe
here.
that allows us to push Herbert around, and I think it would be prudent to try to do that, considering how much you invested at quarterback. I think we double tap running back here and just let the cards fall where they may. My personal opinion.
All right.
Probably
Jerome Ford, Eckler. Here, let's just.
I think we just go Charbonnet.
I do like Charbonnet.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of Charbonnet, so I'm good with that.
It gives you your precious bye weeks, not overlapping.
Thank you. Yeah.
A guy that's mispriced anyway, and with CMC, we should just chase the highest upside guys with standalone and contingent value, and he's pretty easily that guy after Chase Brown goes.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get to chat in 1 second. I just want to mention so the other considerations there for me were we did have Shakir fall to us 10 picks past ADP when we have the stack. We could have done that. I thought about that. I also prefer Jerry Jeudy in a vacuum over Khalil Shakir. I got pretty in on Jerry Jeudy this year. I think it's just everything it sounds like it's going to be, and this is listen to an ETR pod talking about how they're going to be running a spread offense this year, which makes me think the wide receiver 2 might have a little bit more value than years past. I also think Jerry Jeudy, even if he is just a guy, he just got paid big time, that offense, if they're spreading it around, he should be able to pay off this price tag pretty well. So I'm
so glad we get to disagree on a player again. It's been a while.
Let's do it. All right.
I'll debunk the contract thing. When you look at how it's structured, essentially it allowed them to just get a guy that averages less than, I want to say, you know what, instead of Davis Maddock ballparking it, I will give you the exact numbers it is, but I think it works out to being like less than 12 and a half per year with how they
41 million guaranteed over 3 years. It's $52,500 contract, 41 million guaranteed.
I'm looking at,
according to the Sport Track, which I have no idea how reliable, but that's the top result on Google.
Yeah, I use OTC, and so they have guaranteed salary set at 1.1 this year, 16 next year, 6 in 2026, 0 guaranteed in 2027, with 4 void years, with earnings potentially up to that number, and huge dead cap. But yeah, I think in 2024 base, the next 4 years, his base salary less than $2 million a year. Next year is the only year they have him guaranteed over at 16 or more million, and with options for each, pushing 8.5, 8.5, 8.5 up. So the next 5 years of void years, with no guaranteed salary, where they push 8.5, 8.5, 8.5, 5.5, and 3 for that extra like 40 million. So it's, for all intents and purposes, a very funny money void year to basically guarantee they have a decent wide receiver 2, averaging like $12 million a year for 3 years, with a bunch of void years at the end to help offset the Watson contract. So fake paid, first and foremost, fake news. Second of all, the Ken Dorsey comment is a good one, because like Ken Dorsey runs a lot more like shotgun empty. That said, that puts more like that. I think that gives Njoku more competition for targets, and that allows Cooper, Jeudy, and Elijah Moore, and whoever else scrub they want to put on the field. And at that point, it's who's getting open, then who's also catching the ball. Jeudy doesn't struggle getting open. He struggles with, and his yards per route run did dip last year, but he's also he just struggles with yak and finishing the catch. So it's yeah, in theory, I think it'd be more bullish if they were running 2 wide receiver sets where, he and Njoku can truly eat. I think it's just more competition in targets. And Elijah Moore, Jeudy theoretically is a better Elijah Moore, but Elijah Moore's already comfortable with the system and the quarterback. So I think it's just really them fighting for scraps, as Ninjoku and Cooper are the true like top 2 targets, seemingly, if they were smart, given like how the system runs. But I'm pretty low on Judy. Theoretically, sure, it's fine.
I love how wrong you are on this.
Okay, hit me.
I mean, he's better than people think he is. Like he is. I feel like we really are discounting him in a major way because he's worse than we expected him to be. So people are like, "Oh, he's been so bad," and then you look at his numbers. Like his numbers were really close to Cortland Sutton last year. Like aside from the touchdowns, and Cortland Sutton made some amazing grabs for touchdowns. So it's not nothing. It's worth something. But I think Jerry Jeudy was better than people realize. 2 years ago, he was, I want to say, the wide receiver 26 in half PPR scoring. I think that he has been better than people give him credit for. Now he's going as like what, wide receiver 60 or something on underdog, something really low. And like we again have seen him beat the wide receiver like 26. Oh, wait, we got to make our pick here.
Did Herbert come back around to us?
Herbert did not come back around to us.
Okay. That's fine. We set ourselves up with an out.
Kendra Miller injured.
The vibes could not be worse.
Jaleel McLaughlin, I don't mind.
Jermaine Burton correlates and stacks. McLaughlin also. Who else? Show ADP real quick. I just want to make sure we're not missing anybody.
This is ADP.
Okay. Dotson, Leggett, Pearsall. Yeah, I'm either that or Musgrave, and then you can be done at tight end with 2 high-end year 2 guys, or Algier for a elite.
What are we going to do for our other quarterback? I guess we have the Knicks out. Yeah, I like McLaughlin with Bo Nix. I think it's
sounds good. Good with that.
All right. All right. Now we have not really so generic Prince. So that was something that somebody brought up a long time ago. It is interesting. Like so as somebody who has been drafting not a ton, but some of CEH in the 18th round, it does scare me a little bit hearing that generic Prince is running like as the second running back out there for the Chiefs. Also, Kadarius Toney has been running some from the backfield, which is like doesn't give you a lot of confidence in how they view CEH. And obviously we've seen the production on the field is not that great for CEH. So the fact that they're running generic Prince ahead of CEH, the fact that they're trying Kadarius Toney out at running back. I have not drafted generic Prince. I've done like 2 drafts since this news came out. So that's part of it. But are you adjusting anything for the generic Prince and potentially Kadarius Toney in the backfield kind of clogging things up?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So the generic Prince thing is that, so full disclosure, I have like 25% CEH through like 500 drafts. And it's just going to be a lot. I have a lot of RB2s. I do a lot of hero and 0 running back teams. I push running back as much as I can. I try to hit, clear, easy bets. And for good chunks of the summer, CEH looked like a pretty good target. I still think he is. So as a bag holder, I'll bag defend for a second. I'll say it's definitely concerning. I'm not clicking him anymore.
Yeah.
But there are starting to be more comfy or more diverse clicks anyway. Like in general, I don't want to have a shit like this is about the time I'd be trying to mix in other guys anyway, just because I don't want to be out over my skis on last round picks. Because if I have that much CEH, gets like 35% or whatever as a late round pick, then I'm not mixing in some of the other bets. And I want to have more guys like Malik, more guys like, if a tight end emerges, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, Malik Washington?
Malik Washington, yes.
I like Malik Washington, yeah.
So, and I think that range of the draft is going to, in the next month, it's going to look, the last 3 rounds are going to look vastly different from an ADP perspective. But I will just note, CEH was on the NFI list with like an injury or an illness, and he got removed like Monday. Ran as the 2, took some reps, but then the last 2 days they've been mixing in Toney and Prince. So I think this, much like early camp, you could read this however you want to read it. You read it as he's a veteran that's been in the system for 4 years and he just got off the NFI list. So what's their need to run him in there? And they let Jet walk, and they have a bunch of thin nobodies, and Prince did not get any work last year, really, despite Jet kind of sucking and being old and CEH sucking.
Yeah.
So part of me is like, if he was anything, he should have been given more work. And
right,
we see this every summer. Like a Chiefs deep back gets like Darwin Thompson, Damian Williams before and after he
Darrell
was
Williams.
useful,
Yeah.
Darrell Williams, like we see this a lot. And so I think it's bullish if this continues all summer. But like right now, I think they are seeing what they have. They know Tony at wide receiver is not an answer. That's why they went and got Worthy. That's why they went and got Hollywood. So I think it's like, what can we do with Tony, if anything? Because I think he's a likely cut candidate if they can't get him just being running back depth, kick returner, punt returner, and like, wide receiver depth. And I think it's, hey, let's Prince. They said Prince worked hard, smart, good kid, which that's all. Like, okay, cool. We're telling like his work ethic, but it's like he put in a good offseason. We want to give him a chance. So it's like, okay, they're giving me a chance. That he's not been given the role yet, but he's given a chance to do it. So I think definitely like I'm interested in Prince, but I'm not going to overreact on Prince because they could easily decide after 2 weeks or a month, hey, it doesn't look like he's getting it. CH is the guy, and then swap him back. And I think CH's upside is that like he could just be the shitty jet in this offense. And, for an 18th round pick, that's fine, especially if Pacheco goes down. Because, Prince has to be really, really good to like be the true like 60 to 70% contingent replacement for Pacheco. And we have no indication that's truly going to happen because, unlike Kyron, he wasn't like, this guy's going to get a role year one and he's gotten his way on the field and then he hurts himself. And that's why he doesn't like get more opportunity year one. So I don't want to ignore the fact that he was given dick all last year with a similar weak, thin room.
Yeah. We're coming back on our pick. And I got to say one thing that I regret is not taking Ray Davis at that last round. I guess he could have come back to us. But I am trying to get more in on Ray Davis. I am buying into it that he could be more than just a goal line back.
Caught a pass.
He caught a pass. He caught a pass. He looked good. His routes were crisp, clean routes. Everything
I would hope so. He's 27. He's so old.
He's 25. He's 25.
He's 27.
Close enough. Rashad Bateman, another getting all the camp buzz on Rashad Bateman has been good.
I love the team that took QJ also took Rashad. That is art.
Nice.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, got to get those guys. All right.
Gibson is a bring back on the LAC stuff and a decent RB2. We could do. You have any strong wing? What are you looking at tight end?
This is ADP. So Tyler Conklin. He's a bring back for us. He's the same buy though as Dalton Kincaid.
Well, who else do we have at tight end? Show me the tight end tab.
Yep. So we have Conklin, who would be a bring back. I'm going to star him because I don't hate it. Kate Otten. If you want all the routes, Janu is there.
I like Otten as all the routes because I'm comfortable being done at that point. Unfortunately, it doesn't correlate, but I'm not mad about it. And then there's Janu, who's like access to a higher ceiling offense, but also no. Yeah, I'm just going to take all the. I mean, Kate Otten is like the Tyler Higbee. Like he's running all the routes. He has multi-touchdown upside. We don't need him to do that every week, but the couple weeks he does it, like whatever. I mean, he's not dissimilar from Hunter Henry, but he's much younger, and maybe the offense is being underrated.
He had some big games last year in the playoffs, like late in the year. He was kind of coming on, which we've talked enough about DeMarcus Robinson, but like I like when the most recent sample is the best sample, like that's a positive for me. So the fact that he was going off in the playoffs late in the year, it's a positive. So
it was famously a huge bull signal for going into the next year for Leonard Fournette on the Chiefs, for Isaiah Pacheco on the Chiefs. It's one of the huge bull cases for propping up JMO's ADP right now is like the manufactured touches and the big boy red zone grab in the playoffs. So it's like some of this is sticky and valuable, and then some of it's noisy. And at this price, I mean, what's the punishment?
Right. All right. I'm learning, Tyler, as I'm streaming more and more. You just can't acknowledge everybody. You can't just talk to everybody. That's been my struggle that I've learned.
You can just spam it.
I want to just like say like, hey, hi to everybody, react to everything. I'm learning not to do that. So I'm just trying to pick things that are actually like questions or like things.
No, that's what a good host does. I socialize, so I just like say.
I know I'm social. I want to like if somebody says hi, I wanted to say hi back every time, but like
Yeah.
I watched every other stream. It's like, okay, nobody else does this, and it's like it really does, like it takes away from the conversation to try to talk to everybody.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, I'm the one person to do it because I am totally cool chopping it up with you and the chat simultaneously.
Well, you're good at you're better at that than I am. Whereas I'm like, yes, the last stream that I did, I was like, okay, I'm half an hour behind in chat. Like the whole time I was half an hour behind because it was just like,
Yeah, here you go. Here you go.
and-
Snowman says it right now. You're gonna say hello to all of chat while chat says hello to all of you. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Hello to chat.
Hello, chat.
There you go.
Nailed it.
That's perfect. That is perfect.
At everyone.
This is the one that I want to get to. Where have you been streaming somewhere else today? Or just...
No. Tom on Fantasy Sanctuary went live with Ian to draft a DK team. That was super fun, and I was in chat. And so
nice.
Tyler
was
W.
That today? I thought that was yesterday.
No, that was today at 3:15 Central, 4:15 Eastern. So if you missed that, check it out. Ian got to kind of wage war against the piss boys and the wide receiver prices, and get all his guys on DK. So that's always fun. Can I hit you with a little fact real quick?
Fact, yeah.
Going back for little propaganda. Sutton had a better yards per route run than Judy last year.
Yeah, Sutton's going ahead of Judy. Yeah, I mean
it was slightly better, but it was pretty average for his career, whereas Judy's was pretty precipitous drop off. So sometimes new scenery helps. Watson
it could have been just playing with Russ Wilson though. Like I don't know.
Oh, you're right. And Watson was a much better quarterback last year passing the football. Yes.
I mean, yeah, I'm not super high on Watson. I'll give you that.
Yeah, if Judy had gone like systemically, it makes sense. Like Ken Dorsey, spread offense, new scenery. The problem is like that didn't save OBJ's career with quarterback in a new system in Cleveland, not really being the guy. And
how old is Jerry Jeudy though? Like OBJ was.
That's a good fucking
significantly
question.
older, wasn't he?
For Cleveland, I think it was pretty close.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah, I think so. Like, what? OBJ is like 31 now, but that was like 3 years ago, right? Judy's 25. So, like, age-wise, like, I acknowledge I could be wrong, but like, when Steve Smith says you got no dog, and then
did he say has no dog, or just I thought he just called him a jag?
No, he said both. Like, he said he was just a guy. Then Judy pissed and moaned, and then Steve Smith grabbed the mic and went, "You got no dog. You can't talk."
That's right.
And then he went and had the worst season of his career. And talk about a mic drop from Steve Smith.
All right, we are coming up on our pick. I have thoughts on one of our picks at least. Actually, we do have. Well, actually, I don't know. We'll see what we have.
What a tease, folks.
What a tease. We're at 1572.
We could do anything. Doesn't that feel good?
I was going to say we have multiple outs. Daniel Jones is okay. We do have 2 outs at quarterback. This probably should just be a 2 quarterback build since we took Josh Allen.
I agree.
Who's your preference, Bo Nix or Daniel Jones?
Oh, easily, Bo Nix. It might as well hit higher with like the year 1 guy we have stacked up. We have a bring back for, and I just also like if when in doubt, like late season, like Bo Nix is starting week 17. I don't know that Dimes is.
Right, we're done at tight end. We're done at quarterback.
McMillan stacks with Otten, and that's a super fun rookie dart. Yep. Darius Slayton stacks with Neighbors, but I like the McMillan bet better. And then running back, I think we could just take as the last guy.
Estimate's still there.
Estimate. Let's handcuff, baby. Oh my God, I can't believe he's been going to like 15th round. So that's fun. And then
that is fun.
We get. I think there's more receivers late at the last pick anyway.
I also feel like that's not even really a handcuff with McLaughlin and Estimate. Like I feel like they could play together. And it's not even a handcuff.
Well, we missed out on Javonte, and we know there's going to be 3 running backs involved. So might as well make the bet on the Denver offense and against Javonte and get lucky. And that's all we want.
Yep. All right. Polk with Pats, I agree. Yeah, some bullish sentiment on Jalen Polk today. Nico Remigio, I did see that I saw like if Justin Watson misses time, Remigio would benefit. I'm not drafting Nico Remigio. I don't know if you
You gotta
disagree
have
with that,
you gotta
Tyler.
have the wide receiver 5 depth on your team,
Yeah.
because Watson mattered last year when MVS sucked, so surely you need that role this year with better receivers.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
The
Kendra
people loved your
Millibags are in
randomizer.
flames. What's that? Oh
The
yeah.
people loved your randomizer.
All right.
How was that?
I'm still
How was
catching
it?
up.
Did you have fun?
Oh, I did have fun. Yeah. It was I was a little bit nervous about it. Like I don't usually get nervous going on streams anymore, but I was like, it was the kind of thing where I had been like not sleeping well like the week prior, and I was like, oh God, I'm gonna like if I don't get good night's sleep the night before the randomizer, and I like don't have any energy, I'm gonna be super tired, not enjoy myself. Thankfully, I got 2 good nights of sleep in a row before my randomizer appearance because that's the kind of thing that's like it's hard to like I don't know, where it's like you're just having fun. Like you kind of need to like be in a headspace where you can have fun, which for me typically just means I'm not sick and I slept well. But yeah, no, it was great. It was a lot of fun. He didn't make me sing. He didn't make me do. He actually did. He made me do an impression, but of Blender, which is an
Yeah.
easier one.
No,
Um,
Pete and his team do a really good job at personalizing. They'll
yeah,
deep dive a motherfucker, but they also do a
good
great
lord, I
job
am
of
still behind.
personalizing. I
Yeah,
told you, they just happen to have a lot of talented guests making the rest of us look bad.
they gave me the opportunity to send out a picture of myself shirtless from my college years. So
Dude,
that was a dream.
I saw that picture before I got to finish, so I was just like, "Who the fuck is this?" And then finding out that was you, I had like the full blown YouTube like, "What?" So that's
I
great.
so it was I had that picture like I ready to go because we had been talking in a Discord that I'm in about how I was a cross country runner in college, and somebody in that Discord found pictures of me from college, and they were like, that's not actually you. Like they like legitimately didn't
That's
believe
also
that it
like
was me. Like
totally
there's another Neil
disconcerting.
Orfield. Yeah.
Someone in your Discord found pictures of you that you did not have. Like
Well,
that's
so they're public pictures. They're on the Go Jumbo's website.
yeah, I
We
know.
had
They
like
still
if
found
you
them.
search
That's
my name,
incredible.
if you search my name and see images, like
Okay.
they're like some of the first that come up. Yeah, no, it was not
You were a
disconcerting.
hunk, bro. You were a hunk.
Thank you. I was a lift 5 days a week, run 80 miles a week, bro, for a while in college.
Yes, Beastburp, go watch that. There was a Fizzler phone call that was fantastic. There was a Blender impression. There was a troll Rudman, and also get to go down memory lane of ripped ass Neil.
Yeah,
It was a good time.
it was fun. It was fun.
I also the chat hated my team. There was like a rando there that was like there was definitely new to best ball channel, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
he was like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Tom
And I'm like,
Brady in the first.
I was like, I knew bit players. There's like 3 other people in those draft rooms that do bits, and I'm like, I had my whole queue, and then had to check with the producers to be like, okay, which old guys do y'all have as punishments? And then
Oh yeah.
I fucked up because they had an Aaron Rodgers queue, but it was like one of your first ones. I was like, okay, cool, I can take him. And then they had a second fucking Rodgers punishment that they didn't tell me about, so I felt bad. So I was
Oh,
glad you nailed that prompt because I took him, but I was like, I gotta sort the likeliest bit players that I gotta take first to have the oldest team.
that's great.
Um, and yeah, that was fun. My only bummer was I wanted Brandon Whedon because he is the oldest backup in the NFL, but he's not in the player pool. That's
Oh
such a bummer.
really?
Yeah.
Huh. You'd think the old guys would still be in there.
So I wanted to take like Whedon, Brady, and Rodgers for like the oldest quarterback room, but I had to
Yeah.
sell it for Flacco, who was only like 3 years behind him. So
Yeah.
it worked. All right.
Flacco's a good bet also. All right, we're coming up on our pick. I do want to let's cover this. Favorite piece of camp news that has come out so far.
That's a good question.
That is a good question, and I mean the rumor that Javante and P Ryan are competing for the final spot and Estime is a lock was like love that for my Estime bags. But
Yeah,
then
although that was a little bit more speculation than news. I'm trying to like keep it like
it was.
hardcore news.
Yep.
It's a good
Mac Hollins running with the ones in Buffalo. I actually like quite a bit because I've been pretty low on Coleman.
bearish for Claypool for the big blocking guy.
Yep. All right, it
Last
is our
pick.
pick. So we're at 2672.
Can you just show me all the receivers by your rank?
This is ADP.
ADP. Walker's a rookie dart, but no correlation. Oh, Baker. Baker correlates with LAC and with
I think
did
we
you
got
get
it.
it?
I think I got it. We'll
Oh,
find out. We'll find out. Javon Baker. We got him.
nice.
Got our guy.
This is a fun team, Neil. This
Yeah,
turned out.
this was a fun team. All right, I'll read it off. So we go Josh Allen, Bo Nix at quarterback. At running back, we have Christian McCaffrey, Chase Brown, Zach Charbonnet, Jaleel McLaughlin, Antonio Gibson, Audric Estime. At wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, Christian Kirk, Lad McConkey, Brian Thomas, Josh Palmer, Cortland Sutton, Jermaine Burton, Javon Baker. At tight end, Dalton Kincaid and Cade Otton. So we have Josh Allen with. Do we not take any receivers? Is it just it's just Kincaid?
It's just Kincaid
with Josh Allen. We don't have any Jets bringbacks on that one. And then we have Bo Nix with Jaleel McLaughlin and Cortland Sutton. We've got the bringbacks of Jermaine Burton and Chase Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a few mini correlations. We got New England Chargers stuff. We did the double Denver running back thing. We have I guess that New England.
It's doing this much from the one hole. Like, I'll take it. We stacked up our quarterbacks. We pushed quarterbacks super late to leverage the early quarterback taken. Same thing with tight end. We got really good profiles for both of those guys as ceiling and floor plays. We correlated the shit out of the rest of the roster. We attacked cheap backfields and receiver rooms. So for how you started the draft, I think this turned out really nice.
Yeah. For how I started the draft, you didn't like the part that I did without you, is what you're saying. But then, like,
I didn't say I didn't like it. I said, like, when you do that, you risk having a shitty, ugly team.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because in trying to catch up, you might not get to correlate and stack as much, but we were able to do both, and I think that feels and looks nice.
Yeah, no, I think it does too. Happy with the team. All right, this is I'm just going to tell you the main guy apparently in Twisters is a cowboy named Tal. I did not know that, but I'm just gonna skip past stuff, try and catch up, and let you guys know that we if you want us to sauce your team, let us know. I'll do that quickly before jumping into the next one.
Yeah,
what's up, Andrew? Ray Davis being 26
here in a minute.
Oh, that is a good point.
If you want a sauce, you need it now because I didn't have as much time as I thought.
All right, so you do have a meeting now. All right.
Yeah, well, I definitely thought they were going to be like, it's too late. We'll do it tomorrow, and then it was
funny.
Like, let's do it. So if you want a sauce, hit up Neil's money hole. Is what I want to call it.
I mean, you can just chat me. I don't require any money for it.
He doesn't. I like to just say, touch Neil's money hole.
Touch my money hole. Yeah, if you want to touch my money hole, go right ahead. I'll sauce your team. That's all it takes. You just got to touch my money hole.
This was fun, Neil.
Man, I'm catching up. Okay, getting there. We're getting there. Are you leaving right now?
Probably, but you know what? I'll stick for. So I answered in chat. My favorite piece of news was just confirmation that Polk is running with the ones, with Bourne still pupped, and the rest of the guys. Like he was the logical favorite to run with the ones as the flanker guy, and he is running with the ones, and with May looking really nice with the twos. Man, that's going to be a fun pairing when May starts, because it makes sense to do that. And Polk could be one of the fastest starting underrated rookie receivers, and his price has not changed. So as guys are chasing Deneric Prince and Audric Estime up the board, take the guys like McMillan and Polk who are running with the ones and getting install, and like whose prices are not shifting, especially with other more expensive wide receivers.
Yeah. No, Polk certainly bullish. I would also say, actually, it sounds a little bit more likely than I thought it was that Drake May could actually start the year. Like, it sounds like he is actually like in competition for it. I kind of thought it was like a given that he was, not going to be the starter to start the year. He would have to earn his role. It sounds like it's at least a possibility that Drake May is a starter from the beginning. Is how I'm reading just the little bits that I've read.
Yeah, the quick recap on May, and then I got to bounce, is that he worked his way up to running 2 behind Brissett at the end of OTAs, and then Van Pelt, who's the OC coming over from the Cleveland Stefanski system, said he fits our system and he's looking good. He's just got to work on his footwork and just keep building on reps. And and they said, and he's been doing that, and now he's coming in and he's getting to mix in and look good. Like, this is all what you usually see. So is he like on track to start for week 1? Potentially. Is he on track to definitely start the season? I think much more likely than his detractors suggest. So yeah, like with Knicks and with May, I think you just got to like high drafted guys who are fitting the system and making progress. Those are the things you hop on now before they rise. 30, 40 picks, especially if you're taking like elite quarterbacks. And with
Yep.
that, Neil, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for
Y'all,
coming on, Tyler. Enjoy your meeting. Catch you later.
enjoy the rest of your drafts. Peace.
All right, guys, I'm going to have to sauce you by myself, but we did get a few here. Yes, the blender impression was just me saying you can take whoever you want, spitting a little bit. Yeah, it was not the best blender impression you've seen, but I did my best. For somebody who doesn't do impressions, I tried at least. All right, thoughts on the 8-hole. I'll give you the thoughts on the 8-hole. All right, 2 in the thoughts. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr at quarterback. Running back, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, Devin Singletary, Tyler Algier. Wide receiver, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, Curtis Samuel, Brandon Cooks, Mike Williams, Jalen Polk. Tight end, Tyler Conklin, Ben Sinnott, and Mike Gesicki. So we have Hurts paired up with A.J. Brown. I think just a single stack. I don't see any. Oh, we do the Brandon Cooks bring back on that one as well. You got Baker Mayfield with Godwin. Tampa playing Carolina. I don't think any Carolina bring back. And then Derek Carr with. Is that naked? Naked Carr? I don't know that I love that pick. I feel like Derek Carr, like you'd spent enough, I think, with Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield. Probably didn't need to make the Carr pick there. Yeah, no, I think I would have skipped Carr and gone. I don't know where I would have. I mean, I think you're pretty strong at running back. Maybe another receiver. I mean, I guess you took, what do you take? 7 here. Jalen Polk in your last. You could have got another receiver, I think, or just a quarterback who correlates. Like I would have maybe taken AOC because you have Devontae Adams. Like to me, I prefer Carr in a vacuum, to be clear, but like when you're taking him unstacked, I'd rather take my shot on a quarterback who fits your team. So I think AOC. If May was there, which I assume May was gone, let me look. If May was there, yeah, I would have gone Drake May right there instead of Derek Carr. So that would be my biggest. Yeah, I think Drake May is just a smash pick there if you want to go with a third quarterback. Like even though I prefer Carr in a vacuum, I think Drake May for your team because you have Jalen Polk just makes a lot more sense. So that would be the one pick that stands out to me as like I would have done that differently is I would have either gone with Drake May instead of Derek Carr, or I would have just gone with probably another receiver. Because even though you do have 7 receivers, you didn't take your 4th until pick 89. Got a lot of age in some of these receivers, so I'm a little bit concerned that you might not have 7 receivers for the full year. But yeah, I think it's a fine team, but I think I would have changed that up with Derek Carr. Probably would have gone a different position instead of Derek Carr there. All right, Charles, take a look at your team. I will gently sauce it. Trevor Lawrence, Will Levis, Daniel Jones, running back Travis Etienne, Zach Moss, DeAndre Swift, Ty Chandler, J.K. Dobbins, wide receiver Justin Jefferson, Chris Olave, Mike Evans, Rashee Rice, DeAndre Hopkins, A.D. Mitchell, Troy Franklin, tight end Evan Ingram, Luke Musgrave, and Theo Johnson. So we got Trevor with Travis Etienne. And Evan Ingram. You've got and then you have Will Levis as well. So the bringbacks are also going to be paired with your quarterback from Tennessee. You've got DeAndre Hopkins. So solo stack there. And then you've got Daniel Jones. With Theo Johnson. Solo stack there. Do you need to do that? Let's see. You had Trevor and Will Lawrence. Is that just to like get a different game environment? I don't think you need to do that. I think you could have been fine with just 2 quarterbacks. I don't hate it though. You do have a stack at least, and Theo Johnson could be the starting tight end. I just read something about like a third tight end Cager. I heard something about Cager looking good in camp. So like another, potential tight end there in New York for the Giants. So it's just a tenuous. I don't love the situation there with the tight ends for the Giants. I'll take shots on Theo Johnson, Bellinger. I have not taken any shots on Cager yet, but yeah, I don't know if I would have gone with that Giant stack at the end. I think it's fine. Looks a little bit thin at running back. You go like, I guess you call this a hero RB with Travis Etienne. I like Moss, but like, I don't know, Ty Chandler and then J.K. Dobbins is your fourth and fifth. I feel like you could have used one more potentially. You got the nice little Vikings correlation with Chandler and Jets. I think your wide receivers are pretty strong. I think your tight ends are strong enough. I mean, I like Engram and Musgrave, Theo Johnson. A little bit of just a bonus there. Yeah, I think it's a decent team. You got nice correlations. All of your quarterbacks are stacked. 3 stack quarterbacks. We love that. All right, B Spurf. Where are you, B Spurf? There you go, 10 hole. Purdy, Goff, May. So did the same thing with 2 quarterbacks in the same Week 17 game. You got Jalen Warren, James Conner, Brian Robinson, Rico Dowdle, Ray Davis, Damian Pierce. Wide receiver, Puka Nacua, Debo Samuel, George Pickens, Hollywood Brown, Pop Douglas, Malachi Corley, Malik Washington, tight end, Sam Laporta, and George Kittle. So you got Purdy with Debo and Kittle. You got Goff with Laporta, and obviously they're playing in the same game, so they're all bringbacks in Week 17. And then finally Drake May with Pop Douglas. And no bringbacks on that one from the Chargers. Yeah, I think that's a good quarterback room. I like, you got the one game covered, obviously the Detroit San Francisco game. I think it's the highest total of any game in Week 17, so that's a good game to target. I think in general, throw on Drake May for another quarterback with a different game environment. That feels good. The running backs look pretty strong to me. I was talking about how much I like Ray Davis. You get him, just a little bit ahead of ADP. I think that he might be rising, so it feels like a pretty good pick to me. Bye week, man, look at your attention to bye weeks. Only one overlap, I think, in all your running backs. That looks good. Strong running back room, in my opinion. Strong wide receiver room. News pretty damn good for Hollywood Brown. I think it sounds like Mahomes is targeting Hollywood quite a bit. Looking good in practice, so I like that pick. Not super high on George Pickens, but I think in this wide receiver room, you have enough strength there to take a shot on a guy like Pickens. Maybe a little bit thin at wide receiver. No, I think it's fine. You're probably fine. Obviously, really strong at tight end. Yeah, it's a slightly thin in my opinion at wide receiver, just because I'm a little bit concerned Corley might be like not much his rookie year, but he has upside. Pop Douglas, who knows what he's going to be this year. I like throwing a dart at Malik Washington with that late pick. So it could be enough. You have some dart throws there, but you don't have a ton of like guaranteed, I don't think, in this wide receiver room. Like you don't have every week consistency, I think, with a lot of these guys. But could be fine. Put it right in my money hole, Spurious says. Is Spurious in this draft, or is that just a joke? I assume Spurious News is your name, but I don't remember seeing you, so I'm guessing that's just a joke. Let me know if I'm wrong. Already did this one. Touch the money hole. Will reward you with the sauce. Exactly. All right, where are we at? Okay, it says the Derek Carr pick was a panic pick. All right. All right, I'm catching up. I'm about to jump into a draft if we don't have anybody else. Oh, I see. I see. Spurs not in this one. All right, guys. I am going to jump into another BBM draft. So if you want to get in, now is the time. All right. So part of the reason I'm streaming today impromptu is I'm going on vacation next week. So I'm probably not streaming at all. Maybe, who knows? I might get bored going up to Door County, Wisconsin, which I've never been. It's a popular vacation spot in Wisconsin. I know very, very little about it. I have not done any of the planning. I'm just going to show up for the most part. Looking forward to it, hanging out with family for the week, but unclear if I'm going to be able to stream it all, which I am becoming concerned now that I'm going to need to really scramble over the next month or so to get my BBMs in because I've said, I want to stream all 150 of them. This is, I believe, 86 is the one that I'm doing. This next draft is going to be number 86 for me. It is still less than 50% full. My worry is I'm going to go on vacation. The fill rate is just going to, this is BBM, Sam. The fill rate is going to jump quickly. The fast puppy is filling up, so maybe some of those people start drafting BBMs again. I don't know. So I'm a little bit worried that that's gonna happen. I also have another vacation planned in mid-August. So it's like I'm going on vacation next week, another vacation mid-August. So like when I am home, I need to very much be grinding these drafts. So gonna have to be doing some more of these kind of impromptu drafts. All right, we get the 2-hole here. Go AZ Cards gets the 1-hole. Congrats if you like the 1-hole, Charles. I see Mr. TM Longacre in the 6-hole. Some familiar names. LOL Simo, I know I see around a bit. I feel like I know some of these other names, but I don't know necessarily if they are in chat. Let me know if you are. All right. All right. You're not worried. Go easy. All right. You ain't worried. Good. Good for you. All right. CMC again. Back-to-back CMC drafts. I ain't worried either. I ain't worried about the age cliff. Oh, Pepper Tony. What's up? Good to see you in here. Yeah, and they do have that that like YouTuber guy. I forget his MG whatever. They have that contest going right now. Which the snowman is in here. Although all right. A lot of people in chat in the draft. So they do still have that $5, I want to say, draft with the YouTuber guy. But I kind of think that the fast puppy, like a lot of people were doing that one instead of BBM, in part because it was getting close to filling, but also because of the 20-second clock. Whereas I think it doesn't seem like people are getting as into the streamer draft thing. So I feel like having a fast puppy out there slows down the fill rate for BBM more than that draft was. My worry is that they're not going to put out another puppy. And that's going to be the only game in town for a while because they want to fill that one. And then people are just going to jump into BBM and it's going to fill. I'm not that worried about it. I can just come home. I'll do a marathon stream at some point. It'll be fun. But, gotta get some of these drafts in just to put myself in position where it's not like I need to panic and get this stuff done before my next vacation. My hope is that the fill rate won't be so full that I leave on vacation worried it's going to fill while I'm gone. For the one that I want to say it's like August 17th or so I'm leaving on vacation. I'm hoping that when I leave on that vacation it's still less than like 70% full, so that I can feel pretty confident that I'm still going to be able to stream when I get back from vacation. Because ideally, like I'd like to draft as close to the season as possible, like when I finish my final drafts. Just don't know if that's going to be an option. So putting myself in position now by doing drafts now so that I won't need to panic later on as much. Nothing too out of the ordinary so far that I see. Pretty standard. Yeah, CMC, the week 9 buy is helpful. I also like the Pittsburgh guys. They have the same buy, but yeah, not a ton of players who want with the week 9 buy. MMG isn't filling because the fast puppy is open. Oh, you think it's gonna like the fast puppy closes and that's gonna be like the immediate thing? It's 30-second clock though, right? It kind of surprised me. Like I feel like for these secondary contests, people really like the shorter clocks, is what I think we've learned. But you might be right. Maybe when it's the only game in town, hopefully that one does fill quickly, and then they put out more puppies. We'll see. I know a lot of people also like the $5 price point. I like it. I like it as a secondary tournament. All right, we have McCaffrey. I can do the H-Hand thing this time. Somebody suggested it last time. Do I go double running back to start? Now I don't have Tyler bullying me off of the wide receivers I want to take. Just take all my favorite wide receivers later on. I'm just trying to mix up my builds a little bit right now. It is a little bit of like boredom drafting the way I'm mixing up my receivers or my builds a little bit. I'm not going to go 3 running backs to start. I could think about it. I want to star up Neighbors. What do you guys think? Should I go 3? No. We're going Neighbors. That would be a completely different look to do 3 running backs early and then just forget about them for a while. But I think it really takes away your optionality if you do that. Like then you're kind of forced to be taking a ton of wide receivers. Wait, what are we talking about here? Slips who aims at 20. I feel like I missed something. Oh, because he's at the no, he's not at the 1 hole. Who aims isn't even in this draft. All right, I missed something, or something clearly went over my head. Oh hell yeah, Gray is in the draft as well. Pick 5. Oh, okay. I see now. That's funny. It just went right over my head. I read that comment and then just did not put together that that's what you're talking about. I don't know if I love Malik Neighbors as my wide receiver 1. Doesn't feel like the safest wide receiver 1, but nah, it's fine. He's gonna be their go-to guy. He's gonna get targeted 10 times per game this year, Malik Neighbors. Counting on it. But yeah, the offensive line scares me a little bit for the Giants. It sounds like they are planning around that. That's just been from what I read today. Sounds like as a result of the offensive line, they are just going to be throwing short passes a lot, which is good and bad. Probably means a lot more like short targets, easy pick up a point here and there, but less likely to have a ton of like 10-point plays. Yeah, I could see that. Taking another running back at the 4-5 if you're comfortable with the wide receiver you get at the 2-3 turn and then the other receiver you can get at the 4-5 turn. I could see that working out. I often don't love the receivers that are available at this next turn, which is the hard thing about going with two running backs with my in the first three rounds is that it's like, okay, well now I don't want to get that far behind. So like, can I afford to do um, Lamar Andrews and just have one wide receiver through 5 rounds? Can I afford to take? I mean, I guess maybe Pacheco, but it's like I sort of feel like you're forced into doing like a Terry McLaurin thing a lot of the time at 47 or a Christian Kirk. I don't know. It's just doesn't usually feel that great. I did kind of like the feel of that last draft where I was able to get Josh Allen and Dalton Kincaid. Had to reach for both of them, but like didn't have to reach that far for Kincaid. I feel like it was a pretty fun thing to do. I'd recommend it if you're into that kind of thing. This is where I'll typically take a tight end here. Keenan Allen feels relatively high floor. What's the latest on Jaden Reed? Oh, it was activated. Okay, good. Yeah. I'm going to skip on Andrews. I have a ton of Andrews. Since I've already done 2 detours, I'm going to take another receiver, go in Hollywood. That is true. You can play your running back in the flex. Maybe that'll be on this team. I'll get more of those, I'm sure. Yeah, I thought it came together too. I thought it came together pretty nicely. Yeah, I did a draft with Fantasy Guru Drew a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago now, and he did that. He not this exactly, but he did like hammered the early running backs and then went wide receiver heavy, and it looked better than I thought it would. I thought after his start, I was like, man, you're just dropping this. You're just not going to be able to land this plane. And in the end, he did a pretty good job of making the team look good. So maybe it is possible. I still, in general, I feel better about zero and hero RB teams just because I feel like the wild cards at running back, the late round guys, have so much more upside to become something, or many more of them are going to become great plays than wide receivers that go late typically. But there's still going to be some gems. Obviously, you're going to find value at wide receiver throughout the draft. Just feels like you need to like really nail the guys, whereas running back, you just like you blanket it with a bunch of the guys who are not expected to be the starter to start the year, but still might be, and also have outs to get into really valuable roles if the starter gets hurt, gets traded, etc., etc. So I like the feel of zero and hero RB better in general, but you can draft some fun teams a lot of different ways. All right, you're into it. I'm kind of into it. I like Neighbors. I think he has a lot of potential, not just long term, but this year. I think he is going to be the wide receiver 1 for the Giants. Could be heavily targeted. Sounds like Dimes is healthy. Every picture that I see of Danny Dimes, he looks shell shocked to me. Like that. I don't love that. Just like every single picture I see of Danny Dimes is just like, I don't know, just something about it. It's like I feel like this is a guy who has been hit too many times and is nervous about life. C.D. Smith, Cup McBride. Did you not have that possibility? CD Smith, Cup. Oh, he didn't fall to you. I see. McBride would have been a faller. I was sort of hoping that Kittle was going to fall to me at 71. Sometimes he'll fall that far. Get him on my CMC squad. Little stack. Didn't work out. Do I go Ingram here? Gives me another out at quarterback. And I kind of like all three of these receivers. Yeah. Gonna do it. Guessing Charles wasn't going to go there anyway because he already has an elite tight end with the same bye. But JSN got a little correlation with Keenan Allen for week 17. Just making sure I'm not missing something. I think I'm good. Three spot going unstacked Mahomes. Did he get? No. Yeah, Mahomes at 51. So I guess he was hoping that, I guess Rice and Worthy were both still there. Maybe he was hoping that one of them would fall back. Maybe he's going to do like a Kadarius Toney late kind of thing. With Kadarius Toney, potentially getting some running back reps, still involved in the passing game. Maybe he's going to draft Renigio or whatever his name is. I don't know. I don't love unstack Mahomes. Yeah, Neighbors and Dimes looking good together. That's been all right. What else? What else did I hear today? I feel like I read so much, not necessarily news, but just like rumblings of who's looking good. Some of it actionable, a lot of it not actionable. I did read, and this wasn't anything new, but it was the Coach Speak Index saying that if Bucky Irving gets more than 5 carries this year, it'll be the most carries for a running back under 20 pounds in a Todd Bowles offense. Is that right? Something like that, which I thought was kind of funny. Just pointed out that Bucky Irving at his weight might not be super likely to get a ton of work. Todd Bowles, right? Yeah. Does not typically play light running backs. Rashad White is good at football, you think? Not sure I'm buying into that. But he's been pretty damn good fantasy-wise. He might be better than I think he is. So I'll allow it. You might be right. Don't think there's any quarterbacks that need to be taken here. I will not be throwing Raheem Mostert onto my stack. Okay, he goes anyway. Joku's there. Yeah, Achan, there's some correlation there with Njoku. Don't think I need to do it, though. Do I go Sutton again? No, I just did Sutton last. I'm going to go Lockett first. Got a little Seattle thing going on. Think I need to go another wide receiver here. I don't need to, but I think I'm going to go another wide receiver here. Go Josh Palmer. I don't have a ton of Romeo Dobbs. I guess I could consider working him in a little bit more. I do think I've been pretty out on Dobbs, and now and like everything that I hear is just like he's probably going to be out there. I know I talked about this on another stream, but like Jordan Love drew up his like dream play with his choice of wide receivers throughout the league, and it included Dobbs. I don't think it had any other Packers receivers on there, but Dobbs is out there for him, which is interesting. Oh, that's I could have just gone Jaden Daniels. I do like Jaden Daniels quite a bit. Yeah, I mean he hasn't shown us a ton. He's had a few big games, but for the most part, been kind of a letdown fantasy wise. But just a few spike weeks might be all you need if they are timed well. Kind of a fun team you got going there. Go AZ Cards got the CD Devontae. Throws on the Dak stack now. It's a nice one. Just looking at JMG, took Jake Ferguson. I feel like I'm taking Dak there all the time. If I take Ferguson at 80, I'm taking Dak at 89 typically. But probably a good play independent of Dak anyway. Just think he had the game stack, so he has a mini correlation there with AJ Brown and Jake Ferguson. He also has the Kittle and Debo stack. Any other weird teams besides Mahomes unstacked? Hurts at 45. Totally unstacked. I don't do that. I don't know. It's tough for me to click Hurts if I don't have AJ Brown or Devontae Smith. I see other people do it frequently. But like if you don't reach for Dallas Goedert, I guess you could throw on a Paris Campbell. Sounds like there was some like he's connecting with Paris Campbell as an 18th rounder. All right, T-Law goes. Caleb goes. So two of my quarterbacks just went back to back. Man, I didn't realize Jordan Love fell so much. Well, Wicks is there too. I do like Judy. Also like Chase Brown. Gonna go Chase Brown first. You can take Judy if you want to. I already have 6 receivers, so I'm weighing all my options here. Because I might need to go quarterback. I feel like I probably need to go quarterback here. I mean, I have outs. I've got the Seattle stack later, obviously. I've got the Giant stack. Is that it? If threw on Judy, I would have another stack for later. So I would have options, but I feel like Herbert's a pretty good value here. Unlikely to fall. So once again, as much as I like Judy, didn't make sense for this team, even with the 2 running back early start. I mean, Dobbs is still going ahead of Wicks in terms of ADP. So might just be streamers prefer Wicks. Yeah, I'm trying to even it out a little bit. I have a ton of Wicks in like everything from pre-draft in like the rookies and sophomore. I had like 77% or something like that of Wicks. So I have my Wicks bags packed pretty well. Now I am thinking like Dobbs could still just be, a starter and in a good offense. Probably need to take more shots there. I think I'm also creme brulee over sorbet. I'm with you there. Why didn't I go Pollard for my week 17 with Engram? Was Pollard available for this pick? Wait. Oh, here. I wasn't really looking at running back there, I guess. Wait. For 95, 98. I guess I could have. I feel like Pollard is just always available. I think I was just looking at wide receiver there because I did 2 running backs so early. It was just a pocket where I was trying to get more wide receiver power. I could have. I like Pollard. I think he's a pretty strong bet. Just I was trying to get stackable receivers. Just you go Hollywood, Mahomes is gone. I guess that was the only one. At this point, we still had Caleb available, Dimes available, T-Law available, but I threw Lockett onto my Seattle bet with JSN. Palmer, I was kind of thinking I might be able to get Herbert with my next pick or the next turn. But yeah, that certainly could have done that. This is good. If you grab the Green Bay quarterback after ADP, is it safe to say you are falling into love? It is. It is safe to say that. 9-hole going Houston, Baltimore mega stack. That's fun. Nico, Dell, Lamar, Stroud. Wait, is Lamar unstacked? Don't totally love that. I guess Lamar fell to 57. I guess you can stack them up later with Bateman. All right. Here's ADP. Wow, Chubb passed ADP. Should I consider it? I'm not going to get a ton of Chubb. I don't really love Chubb. Should have out still at quarterback. Don't think I need to do that just yet. QJ might not even start in wide receivers in 3 wide receiver sets, so probably not doing that. Could go New England here. We'll go Hawkinson. You know I love me some Burton. Oh. I already have regrets about that pick. I was thinking QJ for a second because I have Herbert, but not super high on QJ. I could have gone Henry there. I thought about going Henry for the bring back. But neither of those is what I'm regretting right now. You'll know soon enough. You'll be able to figure it out if you were watching the stream for the earlier draft. Yeah, I did push Geno. I mean, he's my next pick is still going to be ahead of ADP for Geno. If somebody else takes him, I'll just go dimes or something. Make something else work. Thank you. Yeah, I think this is probably smart. 6 RBs, or else, I mean, like this team, because I took CMC and HN so early, like I think you could go 5 running backs with Chubb when you go with those 2 so early. But this still might be a 6 running back team. Uh-oh, JMG took Goff from you. Let's see it. Goff at 128. Are there any Detroit pieces that you want to throw on, like Khalif Raymond? He does have the stack there with Debo, Kittle. He threw on Purdy to that. Which I like. Throws on Pearsall. So he's doing a kind of a mega game stack, but there's not really much that I love adding on to Goff after JMO. Like, I haven't been drafting Khalif Raymond. He does have, he had some pretty good efficiency numbers, but on low volume last year, as I recall. Maybe he'll do that. Oh, yeah. Vaki. What is it? Semi-Vaki or something? I've actually taken him a couple times, I think. Yeah, that is exactly what I wanted. Yeah, because I picked from the same side of the board, and I said it the last time. Oh shoot, I didn't take the guy that I wanted to take. I spoke too soon. I read that and assumed that he had just been taken. I wasn't looking at the board, and then I realized now that I just told you exactly what I want with my next pick. So that was a blunder. I should have waited. Kendrick Miller fell to 165. I mean, got hurt in practice. What's it gonna be? Ooh, did he just fall to me? Let's go. Yeah, I like Ray Davis in this spot. I mean, all I need to hear is he's the better goal line back and he's going to be involved in the passing game. If those 2 things are true, then I love him. All right, now I got to go Get Geno. Can be done at quarterback. Potentially, or I could take another. This is fine quarterback room, but certainly could be a 3 quarterback room. I think you can go either way with Herbert and Geno as your top 2. Do I have any other stacks? No, quarterback is thinned out quite a bit. The next ADP, I guess 190 is, I guess we're at pick 172, but it's interesting. Oh, I have Neighbors still, so I do have the dimes out if I want it. Obviously, can always backstack with New England. Could go McCarthy with my Hawkinson stack. So I do have some options here if I want to throw in another quarterback. I feel like there's a sex joke here too. If we just cut it off, usually when I'm grabbing Chubb, I go 6. Just like cut it off there. Missed that one earlier. Yeah, that is rough. When you had the Lions mega sack. Thought you could push Goff. Not so. Yeah, we were talking about this in the Discord this morning. Whether you like to what extent we should be reaching to get quarterbacks, and to me, it depends situation. The old lawyer answer, but it really depends on like how much do you like the other picks that are available, how much do you have invested in getting that stack right, like what other options do you have remaining. There's a lot that goes into the answer. How much are you willing to like reach for quarterback? But like if I all my quarterbacks are taken from my stacks, I'll go ahead and take Bo Nix in the 14th round. Like I'm totally willing to reach for to complete my stack if I need to. In this case, I didn't reach for Geno. I could have. I had 2 pieces of Seattle, which makes me a little bit more inclined to reach for my quarterback. I guess where I was coming up, he was right at ADP, and I did have the dimes out, so I didn't feel the need to reach for Geno at 146. I thought I could push him. But yeah, I'm definitely willing to reach to get my stacks. There are a lot of people with red badges who don't draft the way that I draft. Won't say it's wrong, but it appears wrong to me. Mims and Franklin go. All right, I got to look at my team. So Herbert and Geno, I feel like that's sufficient. Could add to it. McCaffrey, Achane, Brown, Chubb, Davis. I like that. It's pretty solid. It is. I do think that this is probably a 6 running back room. Neighbors, Allen, Brown, JSN, Lockett, Palmer, Ingram, Hawkinson. So yeah, there's a lot that I could add to this team, I think. Like could use another tight end, probably need at least one more wide receiver. I mean, I took 6 in the top 100 picks, so theoretically could be done. I'll feel better with one more wide receiver. Probably need one more running back. So maybe don't want to go with the 3rd quarterback. All right, my guy Herbert goes. I'll go get my other guy. Estime. They don't have any other Denver running backs. Like getting a Denver running back. So I'm done at running back. Could throw Javon Baker on there for an upside piece. I didn't realize he was playing through like a broken thumb, but he's practicing now. I do like Ben Sinnott too. These are the two that I'm considering. Okay, I go Baker. I thought about going Sinnott last minute just because the round 18 tight ends are so gross. But I've got pretty good upside and floor. Like Engram, I feel like is like pretty high floor. We might overrate the floor a little bit on Ingram just because it's a completely different passing game this year than it was last year. So I don't know that the targets he got last year are necessarily locked in, but probably a pretty high floor in Ingram. Certainly, high ceiling room overall, I'd say in Hawkinson, Ingram. But Hawkinson going to miss some time. I could use another tight end. Jeff says those two guys as your only two quarterbacks are great if you like vomit sandwiches. I've never had a vomit sandwich, but I don't hate him. I don't hate that quarterback room. Justin Herbert is like borderline elite, I think. Geno was pretty good 2 years ago. I think he could come back this year, be pretty good. Yeah, this is the thirstiest quarterback room I've seen. That's a fair point. Tough draft when you start RB and need a sixth. I would go AOC here over Minshew. Am I too late? Oh no, not too late, I don't think. I feel like the buzz is more in favor of AOC than Minshew right now. That's interesting. I missed this. No, just the personnel changed quite a bit. They had Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas Jr. I don't think Zay Jones was a world beater, so like potentially they just have a better spread offense. I know they lost Calvin Ridley too, but just think the overall offense, the competition could be a little bit better with Gabe and Brian Thomas Jr. there. Maybe not. There is it Parker Washington? I saw some positive reporting on Parker Washington potentially having a role in that offense. I am down with AOC. Forgetting what I just read that made me think, yeah, it's probably AOC's job. Just read something super bullish. Yes, A-Rod. We're always talking politics in here. That's what the Flannelverse is all about. I was very, very bullish on Minshew at first. Like I was under the assumption that he was going to be the guy, but more and more, I get the impression that AOC like maybe impressed enough. That's another thing that we've been talking about in my Discord a little bit. Different people are pretty very much on different sides there as far as who is going to be the starter there. I think I fall on the side of AOC. I could see it going either way. Talking about Aiden O'Connell, of course, is the AOC we're talking about. Kind of into Michael Mayer as a last round pick. He's been kind of my go-to as just like the contingency value. Maybe it doesn't pair up great with TJ Hawkinson because Hawkinson's going to come on late. I did think it was sort of bullish for Dulcich. Do I want to do Dulcich? Let's see. Got Estime correlation there. Gesicki went, right? I don't see Gesicki here. So a reporter came in and said Lucas Kroll was your best player in camp. And I like that Sean Payton was like, no, you're wrong. Like, you need to get your eyes checked. Lucas Kroll has not been our best player in camp. To me, that was like sort of bullish for Dulcich. That, like, I don't know. It just sounded like, why would you say that about your player? Like, no, he has not been our best player. Like, what is the motivation of Sean Payton to like say, no, Lucas Kroll has not been our best player? Maybe it's just to motivate Kroll. To me, it could be that he's just like, that's not our starter. Like, why are you talking up our second string tight end? He's not the guy I want to start. I don't know. I'm probably reading too much into it. All right, I'm going to read off my team. If any of you want the sauce on your teams, let me know. Oh, did you take Deneric Prince? All right. What's up, Ali? I don't have anything scheduled with DraftKings drafts. I've done a few of them, just kind of impromptu. Very good chance that I'll do some DraftKings at some point, but I am right now, part of the reason I'm doing this stream right now is I am trying to get through 150 streamed Best Ball Mania drafts. So, got to get those in. All right, I'll start with my team. I see a couple people so far. I have Herbert and Geno Smith. Some people would refer to this quarterback room as a vomit sandwich. I have Christian McCaffrey, Devin Achane, Chase Brown, Nick Chubb, Ray Davis, Audric Estime at running back. At wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, Keenan Allen, Hollywood Brown, JSN, Tyler Lockett, Josh Palmer, Javon Baker. Tight end, Evan Ingram, TJ Hawkinson, Greg Dulcich. So we got Herbert with Palmer. I should have thrown on Chark. That's what I should have done on this team. It sounds like Chark might. So when I didn't take QJ, in the back of my head, I was thinking I'll take Chark later. Looks like he must have gone, right? I don't see him here. So yeah, so I didn't get Chark. Just have a single stack there. Have the Javon Baker bring back. So do have the Javon Baker was still correlated for week 17. Then we got Geno with JSN and Lockett. We have the bring back there of Nick Chubb for week 17. The quarterbacks, I think it's a fine quarterback room. Maybe some of you disagree, but I think it's good enough. Running backs, somebody pointed out, Charles pointed out, I start with 2 running backs with my first 2 picks and then still go through 6, probably a bit much. I guess that is I still don't feel that comfortable with Nick Chubb is, I think, the reasoning there. But also I think partially just because I like Ray Davis and Audric Estime as late round picks, which is, I guess, this is me usually going 0 RB. Maybe that tendency kind of plays into still the way I see the end of drafts is like, oh yeah, these are the guys that I like. I can get them right at ADP. I'll go get them. So I end up drafting probably maybe too many running backs, but I think it's okay. Little bit thin at wide receiver, I think. But I took 6 in the first 100 picks. It has certainly the upside to be good enough at wide receiver. And then tight end going with 3. Again, I took both Chubb and Hawkinson, which neither of them are players that I super love to take because I feel the need to then really bolster the room. I treat them like they're going to be zeros for most of the year, just like they're somebody. I have a 17-man team or a 16-man team in this case, and then 2 guys who could come in late and give me a full team. I don't know. It's maybe I shouldn't do both. Maybe I shouldn't do both Chubb and Hawkinson on a team because then I end up taking too many running backs, too many tight ends. Not my best team, I don't think. All right, Pepper Tony, give you the sauce. Pepper Tony goes Anthony Richardson, Drake May, Aiden O'Connell at quarterback. At running back, Bijan Robinson, Alvin Kamara, Zamir White, Austin Eckler, Roshan Johnson. Wide receiver, Devontae Adams, Michael Pittman, Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley, A.D. Mitchell, Jacoby Myers, Wandell Robinson, Luke McCaffrey. Tight end, David Njoku, and Hunter Henry. So he's got A-Rich with Pittman and A.D. Mitchell. He's got the Wandale bring back. Then he's got Drake May with Hunter Henry. No bring back on that one. Then he's got Aiden O'Connell with Zamir White and Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers. No New England bring back for that one. I think you did need a final quarterback because your first two quarterbacks have that week 14 bye. Concerns me a little bit. So hopefully AOC is the guy at least by week 14. There is a pretty good chance that even if Gardner Minshew starts the year, they bring Aiden O'Connell back in later in the year. So you should be covered for week 14. I think I'd give it better than 50% chance, but not that much better than 50% chance. Overall, I think I'm a little bit nervous for you. There is a possibility that you're going into the year with Anthony Richardson as your only starting quarterback because Drake may not start the year. Aiden O'Connell may not start the year. And we saw Anthony Richardson got hurt multiple times last year just with his style of play, the way he runs into contact. I don't know. So there's you took on a little risk that you're going to have no quarterback some weeks, but also there's, I'd say, 75% chance that at least one of May or O'Connell starts the year as the starter. So you're probably good. Running backs, I think you are strong enough. You go with Bijan early, Kamara, Zamir White, Eckler, Roshan. I think it's good enough running back room. Wide receivers, a lot of my not favorite receivers. Like I don't really take Pittman much at all. I don't take much Calvin Ridley much at all. But you got Ridley 9 picks past ADP. That's not bad. Then you get there with volume as well. I do like Luke McCaffrey quite a bit. I think Wandale Robinson sounds like he has been looking good so far. Has been practicing well with dimes. Jacoby Myers, good pick at 127. I like that. Yeah, I think this is a pretty strong team for Pepper Tony. All right, the Snowman. I'm guessing you're Snow. Dust Snowman 1021. Yeah, Snow 1021. Okay, good. This is Snowman. Kyler Murray and Kirk Cousins at quarterback. At running back, Kyron Williams, Rashad White, Kenneth Walker, Trey Benson, Damian Pierce. Wide receiver, Marvin Harrison, Drake London, Zay Flowers, Rashid Shaheed, Rashad Bateman, Michael Wilson, Roman Wilson, Jalen McMillan. Tight end, Brock Bowers and Dalton Schultz and Mike Gesicki. Okay, interesting. Goes Kyler with Benson and Marvin Harrison and Michael Wilson. Any Rams? Kyron bring back. So that's just fun. It's one of my favorite games to target. Got a nice full-on game stack there. You got Kirk Cousins with Drake London. No Washington bring back. Quarterback looks strong. I like the Kyler Kirk pairing. Running back looks strong. You start Kyron, Rashad White, Kenneth Walker, and then throw on Trey Benson, upside pick, Damian Pierce, upside pick, allegedly. They brought in Cam Akers. What do we think of that? Wide receivers, you start with your first three picks are wide receivers. Long break, Rashid Shaheed. That's a fun fourth receiver. Bateman, Wilson. I mean, you get there, 8 receivers? I feel like that's even with your fourth receiver not being until pick 108. I think you get there with the volume. I like it. Yeah, I think that's a strong team. Don't see any other issues with it. I think this could have been a 2 tight end build, but I don't know if it was you pointed out, somebody pointed out in chat that Gesicki getting some buzz. I think it's also fine to take a third tight end on that team. A lot of players I like there. Thank you, Mr. Mister, for drafting with me. All right, LOL Simo. I did also see Go AZ Card says that it was not. Wait, where did you say it? Oh, I said I can saw some more. Okay, I'll do LOL Simo. Is that a reference to Osimo or something else? LOL Simo goes Jaden Daniels and Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Jahmyr Gibbs, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren. Okay, does a double tap. Rico Dowdle, Will Shipley at running back, at wide receiver. Garrett Wilson, Stephon Diggs, George Pickens, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Demario Douglas, Malachi Corley, Troy Franklin. Tight end, Dallas Goedert, Pat Freiermuth, Ben Sinnott. So you got Jaden with Sinnott. Okay. Any Atlanta? No Atlanta bring back. Then he's got Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Malachi Corley. No Buffalo bring back. So I didn't do the week 17 game stacking thing. I think that your quarterbacks it's a fun quarterback room in my opinion. You got the young rushing quarterback, the old pocket passer. That feels good. Good pairing. Interesting, you go Najee and Jalen Warren. I think that's fine. I've done it before. I got no issue going both Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. Get ready to learn Cordarrelle Patterson, buddy. Rico Dowdle, Will Shipley. I think it's fine. I probably would have gone 6 running backs here. Let's see if there's somebody else I would have cut off. Will Shipley, I know Sean Siegel thinks could just be better than Saquon Barkley right away. I think it's certainly possible. I think it's obviously unlikely that he comes in and is a starter right away, but at least there are some reasons to be bullish on the talent of Will Shipley. Wide receiver, so you got a little mini correlation there with Pickens, Rice, and Worthy. That's kind of fun. Oh, you got a full-on game stack there without either of the quarterbacks. Didn't notice that. Okay. So you have Rice, Worthy, Pickens, along with Najee and Jalen Warren. So full-on game stack. That's kind of fun. Yeah, I think that's a good 3 tight end build. You get value on Sinnott. Love that. Man, so what were you going to do if Sinnott did not fall to you? Just go naked Jaden Daniels. I'm a big proponent of stacking, so not something I would do, but Jaden Daniels is one of those quarterbacks you could go with a naked guy. Yeah. Strong team, strongly correlated. Pretty lucky to have Sinnott fall that far, but it works out. All right, go AZ Card says you can sauce me hard this time. PS not Prince. So Deneric Prince, not the running back 2 on the Chiefs. Did we let CEH fall to the final pick? All right, so we have Dak Prescott, Baker Mayfield at quarterback, running back Travis Etienne, David Montgomery, Brian Robinson, Blake Corum. Oh, Kadarius Toney. Okay, Blake Corum and Tyler Algier at running back. At wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith, Cooper Kupp, Deontay Johnson, Brandon Cooks, Darnell Mooney, Greg Dortch, DJ Chark, Kadarius Toney, running back 2 on the Chiefs. Kincaid and Cade Otton at tight end. So you've got Dak Prescott with CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. Bring back of Devontae Smith. That's fun. Full on game stack. Then you got Baker with Cade Otton. Deontay Johnson bring back. That's fun. Quarterbacks, I think that's a strong enough quarterback room with Dak and Baker. Running backs, you go Hero RB, Travis Etienne. You got Dave Montgomery, Brian Robinson, Corum, Algier. I think that's a strong enough running back room. Wide receiver, yeah, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith, Cooper Kupp, Deontay Johnson. Very strong. And 9 receivers? You can't play Toney at running back, right? No, I think it's good. I think this is. Oh, you took DJ Chark, so you are. I could have had DJ Chark at pick 191. Should have done it. That was a mistake on my part. Um, yeah, like I feel like your team is strong enough at receiver that you didn't need 9, but Kadarius, so that's kind of a fun last pick with the buzz. Obviously strong enough at tight end. So yeah, I don't really see any other position that you needed to take there with that final pick, even if it seems like 9 is a little bit too much. I may have gone running back there. But no, I think you're probably fine. I think this is you got floor and upside at running back, tight end. Yeah, I think it's a good team. Oh, you were with Jane Daniels going naked. Yeah, that probably fine. Not something I want to do. I want to knock out multiple, do the correlation thing so that you can kind of stack your bets. All right, I did not get in and out in 2 hours as I had hoped to do, but I am going to end it here. I have another stream tonight at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Going to be recording Playing for Keeps episode 16 with Michael Lockey, who is a poker pro, great DFS player, great underdog games player. So if you are around tonight, come around, check that out at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Yes, thank you for the reminder, Pepper Tony. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I am trying to get to 2,000 subs by the NFL season. We are still almost 200 away from 2,000 by the NFL start of the NFL season. Would appreciate it if you are not already subscribed. If you do subscribe to the channel, like the video, helps out quite a bit. Any comments are very helpful as well, so would appreciate that. And if you want to hang out, talk about camp news, etc., join the Flannelverse Discord. The link is in the description of this video. Pretty active Discord, not a large community, pretty small community, but pretty active anyway. Every day we're chatting about the latest camp news, sharing best ball teams, talking about the latest entertainment, the Presumed Innocent show. Many of us just got the final episode of that last night. It's a fun Discord. So if you are interested in joining another Discord, come check that out as well. But anyway, join me 9 Eastern, me and Michael Lockey, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Going to be recording Playing for Keeps. Grab a beer, join us for that. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. Catch you later.